Hey, so today's daily dose is about self-sabotage. As a reformed self-sabotager, I think it's really important to share what I've learned on this subject and how you might be suffering from this and not knowing why, not knowing how to stop yourself from either perceiving that others are taking things away from you, God's taking it away from you, or you, in fact, just taking it away from yourself, which is what I used to do. So I had this incredible experience this weekend, and I'm going to try not to get emotional because I already did this morning because it was so amazing. But if I do, who cares? It's being authentic. But I had this incredible experience this weekend where it triggered a pattern for me that was ready to be healed. And the pattern was that this weekend was absolutely incredible. And, right after everything was very incredible, I had this deep despair, this extreme feeling of fear. And so I took the last couple of days alone and I really went deep with that feeling. And I went into the depth of that despair and I went into the sadness and cried a lot and allowed myself to feel everything that was coming up and not judging it. And that was very difficult because I didn't want to have that feeling. I didn't want to feel that way. And as soon as I cleared that and allowed myself to feel that way, I started getting images and wisdom and messages and understanding what was really going on. And so what I realized is this pattern I've had my entire life, which I've always known of, just didn't know exactly how to heal it until now, is that every time my dream is about to come true, every time I see that thing that I've always wanted and it's this close, or I'm in that relationship I want, or I got that client I want, or whatever it is on my vision board that's coming true, all of a sudden, this overwhelming sense of fear will come in and destroy it. Whether I create actions that destroy it because I buy into the fear, or if I just don't feel I deserve it and then I take myself out of it, or subconsciously I have these habits which I see were 100% self-sabotaging. Would sabotage relationship, would sabotage job, client, career, whatever it was I would do the past my whole life. And so I was always on the verge of not quite reaching my full potential or having every dream I wanted, but close. Because as soon as it got there, it was real scary, and then this big pattern would come. So this happened this weekend. And I didn't do anything to sabotage myself because I'm already that aware, where I knew there was something going on that didn't measure up to the new reality of joy that I experience all the time. So instead of doing something or reacting, I kept it at bay, and I just decided to nurture that negative feeling, that negative emotion. And what came forward was this major awareness of a childhood misinterpretation that many of us have and don't know, which is when we feel joy, all of a sudden we link that joy to it being taken away. For instance, let's just say I got first place award in my piano recital, and then someone comes in and says, but you don't deserve that because you do this, this, and this, and this. We start linking our greatest joy to it being sabotaged and taken away. So then what we do is we start doing it to ourselves because we think as kids that any authority above us is God. So we then relate that authority or person that we saw in authority saying something like that to us to how God treats us, and then we treat ourselves like that. So how to undo that pattern is to see that it is not the truth and you deserve your joy. It was a misinterpretation, or it was somebody else's issue being reflected onto us that we then took as children as being truth. I don't deserve this. I don't deserve my highest potential. I don't deserve my greatest joy. Whether it was a parent, a sibling, a stranger, a teacher, whatever it was that did this to you, it could have been the most minute scenario. But in some way, we subconsciously took that to mean I don't deserve, and when I get to that level, it will be taken anyway, so it's scary. And that has been one of my, maybe the biggest pattern in my own life. And what I got to do this weekend by going into the depths of that painful emotion is reframe it from an adult point of view and see that, oh my gosh, That is not true. It never was true, and I can clear it. And there are many steps to clearing it, but what I got to see is by simply realizing where it came from, sitting with myself and seeing myself as 5 or whatever age it was for you, and seeing that scenario and then reframing it into the truth, which is your birthright is to have joy and happiness and to express the universe. To reframe that and then take it into the experience I had this weekend and see exactly how that came about literally changed it and has opened me up to this incredible freedom and bliss that I wanted to share with you. So if you're a self-sabotager, you can go to my website at theauthenticthread.com or email me for any questions. But really look into how you could be sabotaging yourself because of your own fear of your own potential and your own joy. That's your daily dose for today. Namaste.